All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Today's video, I am going to show you a little bit of how I pompano fish, how I set up, how I target them out on the surf, and some of the gear I use. So go ahead and check this out. All right, guys, and as far as rods and reels go, today I'm using a Rod Hutchison 12-foot carp rod. It's a nice medium action rod. It's not a surf rod. It is a carp fishing rod, but it's plenty of rod to use out here in the surf for 99% of what I'm gonna catch. To me, I find surf rods a little heavy, so I really like these. And then my reel is just a Pin Battle 2 4000 20-pound spider wire. No, this isn't spider wire. This is Power Pro on here. Just your 20-pound standard Power Pro. And then, as you see, my bait's been stripped here, but that's just a 20-pound mono leader, 3-ounce weight. Got this little bluish green pearl bead on there. That is a size 2-aught circle hook. Had ghost shrimp and fish bites on here, but it's been picked clean. And that's it. I keep my rigs pretty basic. I don't put a lot of floats and beads. I don't worry about fluorocarbon. I keep it pretty basic. Oh, am I gonna catch up to it? There we go. There we go. Man, that was hard to catch up to that, dude. This feels like a pretty solid fish. Not bad at all. Oh yeah. Hey, easy there, buddy. Oh yeah. This should be a good pomp, I think. Yeah. All right. Come on, buddy. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good fish. Oh, I actually still can't see the guy, and he's really close. Just the angle of the light. Oh yeah, pretty solid pomp. There we go. Nice pompano. That's what we want. We'll take several of these dudes. Not a monster pomp, but he's a keeper. He's super thick, just a real nice thick pomp, but he's definitely a keeper, and I'm more than happy to catch him today, especially with the conditions out here being as flat as they are. All right, guys, the three main baits I use for pompano are fresh dead shrimp. I salt mine, so it's a lot tougher and stays on the hook better. Sand fleas, and my number one that I like to use if I can get them, and that's going to be ghost shrimp. They're the king when it comes to pompano, so if I'm able to pump them up, I'll do that. Then of course I always like to have fish bite or fish gum. Pick your poison as far as that goes. I don't care what your preference is, they both work, so choose what you want, but I always like to have a piece of fish gum or fish bite on with my other natural bait. Okay guys, I'm a big fan of using ghost shrimp, especially for pompano. When I'm wanting to target pompano, I want to find ghost shrimp. You can see a little hole there in the ground in the water. I'm going to put my pump right next to it. So there's a slight hole there. It's a small ghost shrimp mound. We're going to see if there's anything in there. And when you put your pump over there, really pull on it. Get some suction on there. You want to pull up, and see, there he is. He's right over here. Reach down and grab him, but you want to create enough suction that you pull those guys out of there. If you don't pull hard, you're probably not going to pump him up. In fact, there you go. I pumped up 2 on that. You definitely want to really pull on that to create suction to pull those ghost shrimp up. All right, and this is how I rig up my ghost shrimp. I'm going to take the hook and I'm going to go through the tail end on the bottom side here, and I'm going to let the bend of that hook just follow the inside of the back of that ghost shrimp. I'm going to get it through there as far as I can and then run my hook out. And excuse me, and what you see hanging off the bottom here is magic thread. I already had a ghost shrimp on here, and this magic thread was from the last one, so I'm gonna go ahead and reuse it. But all I do, I just wrap this. Like I excessively wrap it. I would rather have too much, but not enough. So I put a ton of magic thread on there, and then that is what the finished product looks like. This feels like a quality fish. Feels pretty good. Not a monster, but hooked up. Maybe we've got us another pompano. He's fighting like a pomp. He's really running over there to the left. Oh, I thought he pulled off for a second there. He's still on there. He's still there. Way over here to the left now. Oh yeah. All right. Easy, pal. You're a good pompano. Definitely a good pompano. Come on. Oh, that's fun when they run like that. And my drag is a little loose, but I'm not gonna tighten it down at this point. When they're making those runs, guys, do not try to force them, or all you will do is pull that guy right off of there. That's a nice pompano. That's a really nice pomp. Much bigger than I actually thought he was. All right, another really nice pompano. It's just, unless you're out here, and these surf conditions are not prime pompano surf conditions, but if you're in the right area and you're fishing the right bait, you find these guys even in these less than ideal conditions. So that is why it's so important to get out here and fish any chance you get, because you never know when you're going to get into pompano. Just had a weak spot in my line and broke off, so this is a good time to show you the colors of my rigs. I don't get too worked up about it, really. I just throw multiple different colors throughout the day. As you can see, I got some pink, green, orange, yellow, some pearly blue, pearly pink. I just don't get too worked up about my colors. My hook sizes, anywhere from 1/0 to 2/0. Typically this time of year, once the big reds start showing up, I'll throw 2/0. But other than that, I like to throw 1/0 and just ones. And as you can see, I don't put floats and beads on them. There's a single bead on this rig. That's actually a float right there, but it's small, same size as a bead, so it's not really floating anything. It's just, I found some tiny little floats in a bunch of different colors that I wanted, so I picked them up. But I keep it pretty simple. I think some guys go a little overboard on their pomp rigs, and I keep mine pretty basic. All right, and this is a common structure I look for when I'm trying to find pompano. I'm in a little bit of a cut here. It's not great. The tide's pretty low, and the surface flat, as you can see. I mean, there's almost no wave action. But over here on my left, I've got a shallow spot. Got some deeper water here in the middle, and over to my right, I've got a little bit of a shallow spot. And what I'm doing, I'm taking these ghost shrimp and I'm putting them really far out here in the middle of this cut. And it's just a spot that's gonna produce pompano fairly common. And there's also a lot of days where I will go out to those points and I'll walk out there, and at the pompano are running a little further out, I'm able to wade out there and get further out and try to find them. But today, luckily, I was able to find pompano right off this cut, and I didn't have to really wade out super far and get way out there in the deep blue water. I was able to kind of get to that transition point where this goes out and then drops off. I was able to find several pompano just right there. So that's kind of an area I target a lot of times for pompano. They are not a fan of this shallow water right here, but there we go. Pomp number 3. He should be a keeper. He's gonna be close, actually. I'll measure him, but he should be 12. All right, he's He's quite a bit smaller than the other two I caught, especially that last one. That last one was a toad, but this guy's a keeper. He's actually 14 total length, so there you go, guys. Just a little perseverance. I'll spit out here in a minute. A little perseverance. You got to stick it out some days, and you got to use your right bait. You got to be in the right location. You got to put a little bit of time and effort and find these pompanos, and once you do, you can start to consistently find them. And there's some days where I don't care how good of a setup you got. There's just certain days that you're not going to catch pompano. Some days you're going to struggle to catch fish, period. So there we go. There's a limit of pompano today. All right, guys. A great day for bad surf conditions. I mean, it's about as flat as it can get out here. Still managed to get a limit of pompano. It's perseverance, like I said. I mean, you got to get out here. You got to target the prime areas, and it doesn't always work. There are days where you're gonna be set up in just a perfect spot, and you swear you're gonna catch pompano, and you might catch a couple of hard heads, and that's it. But you just don't know unless you get out here. So get you a ghost shrimp pump, get you a sand flea rake. Don't get worked up about your bead color, your float color. Keep your hooks fairly small. I prefer circle hooks, but you do you. Just get out here and fish. That's the only way you're gonna learn. You can watch videos all day, but getting out here, it's the way to do it. I mean, you learn more by doing than watching. So get out here, catch you some fish, and I'm gonna wrap this up. So until next time, I'll see you later.